Hey guys, welcome to Friday. Happy Friday. So today we're going to get into graphing quadratic functions. Hopefully yesterday you found pretty simple finding the vertex and the axis of symmetry. So today we're going to get into actually graphing one legitimately. Okay, so you don't have any assignment due today, but I do want to let you know that, well, obviously we're looking at our agenda, but if you did not do your dividing polynomials by binomials, if you did not finish your Quizlet Unit 7 test, if you did not finish your Intro to Quadratic Functions quiz, you can complete them all today. So make sure you get everything you need to in by Friday, and we'll all be good. Okay, so let's get into what we're doing today, which will be the next lesson in your new packet, which is called Steps to Graph a Quadratic Equation. So first thing you need to do is find the axis of symmetry, and luckily you know how to do that already, which is negative b over 2a. Then you find the vertex, which again, you find the vertex by plugging in x to find y. That's how you get your vertex. And then you put the vertex in the middle row of the table, and then you fill in the table of values. Then you plot the points, connect them into a curve, and then you are done. So let's go into example number 1. You guys are going to be expected to practice and complete homework 2. I want you to leave this. If you want to try it out, you can try it, but leave this until the end and just try to do homework 2, which is numbers 1 through 8. Okay, so I'm going to complete numbers 1 through 11 with you, and then we'll go on from there. So number 1, this is actually the parent function of a quadratic equation, just so you know what's going on there. So the axis of symmetry, again, for this one, a equals 1, b equals 0. So the axis of symmetry is going to be x equals negative b. So that means 0 over 2 times 1, which means x equals 0. Our axis of symmetry is going to be the y-axis. So that means if we plug in 0, we're going to get 0. So if we do y equals 0 squared, that means that the vertex is 0. Okay, so if we plot 0, 0, obviously it's the origin, and then we're going to do a couple of points around it. So we're going to do negative 1, negative 2, 1, and 2. So let's do this mentally real quick, because it's just a quick, simple equation. So if we plug in negative 1 squared is 1. 1 squared is also 1. Negative 2 squared is 4. 2 squared is also 4. So hopefully you see a pattern that this matches and this matches. Okay, so we've got negative 1, 1. We've got 1, 1. And we've got negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've also got 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is our parabola. You got to connect these points, and that's it. Okay, let's answer about the domain and range, and then we'll be good to go. So the domain, remember, is x values. For most all of these, your x values are going to be negative infinity to positive infinity, or you can also write all real numbers. And then your range is going to vary. So wherever this one starts to go up or down is going to be where your x is. So in this case, your y is. So in this case, your range is all y numbers. So y is going to be greater than or equal to 0. Because again, here's your y, and all of your values in this quadratic are above the x-axis. So it's all going to be greater than y equals 0. All right, let's do this one for real. So we're actually going to be plugging in this problem, and I'm going to separate this space so we can work over here. The axis of symmetry is going to be x equals, and then b, in this case, is 2, a is 1. So negative 2 over 2 times 1, which equals negative 2 over 2, which equals negative 1. So that means our axis of symmetry is negative 1. If our axis of symmetry is negative 1, that means we plug in x to find our y in order to get our vertex. So we know that this is negative 1. We're going to do y equals negative 1 squared plus 2 times negative 1 minus 1. So we have 1 minus 2 minus 1. Y is equal to 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. So we're going to put our vertex in the middle. Negative 1, 2. So this is where our graph starts. And then we're going to fill in some spaces after. So to the left here, we have negative 2, negative 3, 0, and 1. The good thing about our vertex is that we know whatever space comes to the right, to the left is also going to be over here. So these two are going to match if you do this correctly, and these two are going to match. So if you pick numbers like right next to that vertex, your other values are going to be like a mirror of each other. So again, if this is your vertex, these two are going to be the same, and then these two are going to be the same if you pick the numbers right next to it. So the easier ones to plug in would be 0 and 1, so let's do that. If we plug in 0, let's do mental math. 0 squared is 0. 2 times 0 is 0, so that means y equals negative 1. So this is going to be negative 1. That means this is also going to be negative 1. Okay, if we plug in 1, let's see, y equals 1 squared plus 2 times 1 minus 1. So that means this is 1 plus 2 minus 1. Y would equal 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So that means that this is 2 as well as this one. These are all the same. This is your vertex. So let's plot it. Negative 2, so negative 1, 2, negative 1. That means that this is also the same, 0, negative 1. 1, 1, 2, negative 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You see how if we draw this, let me do it in a different color. So if we draw this line, aka the axis of symmetry, these points are a mirror of one another, these two and these two. So if you find one, obviously you're going to find the other in equal distance from each other. So here's the parabola here. Let's answer our domain. Our domain is all real numbers because the x's go on forever and ever in the left and the right direction. And our range is going to be every number greater than the y value of the vertex. So this is going to be greater than or equal to negative 2. As we go on, you'll be able to see a pattern in our range. All right, number 3, let's find the axis of symmetry. We know that A is negative 1 and B is negative 8. So x equals negative 8 over 2 times negative 1, which is 8, over negative 2, which is negative 4. Our axis of symmetry is negative 4, which means our vertex is negative 4 something. So we're going to go over on this side and plug in negative 4 and see what we get. So y is equal to negative 4 squared minus 8 times negative 4 minus 17. So this is negative 16 because remember, whatever's in the parentheses gets squared, but again, we're bringing down that negative sign. Plus 32 minus 17. Mental math. Negative 16 plus 32 is 16. 16 minus 17 is negative 1. Hopefully I did that right. Please fact check me. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1. There is our vertex. Okay, so let's get in the habit of picking numbers to the left and right of it. So we're going to pick negative 5, negative 6, negative 3, and negative 2. So again, you do not have to do all 4 of these. You only have to pick 2 and understand that the other ones are mirrors of each other. So if I were you, I would pick -3 and -2 and just go from there. So y equals -3 squared minus 8 times -3 minus 17. -9 plus 24 minus 17. -9 plus 24, so basically that's 24 minus 9, which gives you 13. 13 minus 17 gives you -4. Is that right? Think so. So this means a -3, -4. This is also -4, and then we're going to plug in -2. Y equals -2 squared minus 8 times -2 minus 17. So -4 plus 16 minus 17. Well, -4 plus 16 is 12. 12 minus 17, y equals -5. Some of you are thinking this is a lot of work, but if you can do math, this is not a lot of work. All this stuff that we just did right here is very simple. You learned it last year. We went over it at the beginning of the year. You should know how to do this, and this should not be a struggle for you. Okay? It may not be as quick as I'm doing it, but you are able to do it. Trust me. Believe in you. So this one becomes, well, here's -4, the x. So we're going to go to the left as -5, and we're going to go down -1, -2, -3, -4. Notice this one's opening down because a is negative. So if this one is -4, so is the one on the other side. If this one is -5, we're going to go 1 over. Wait, that doesn't make sense. So we did this one. We're going to go -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This doesn't look right. Did I make a mistake? I have to double check this because I feel like I made a mistake. Okay, so found my mistake. You were probably screaming at me through the camera. Some of you, because you care so much, and I appreciate you. So when I plugged in -3 squared, -9 plus 24 was 15, not 13. Duh. Sorry, sometimes I just lose my mind. So this is 15. 15 minus 17 is -2. So this is actually -2. So that's my bad. I apologize. So we're going to go -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, 2, not -4. So this one's going to over here be this 2, and then these are correct. So this is -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as well as this one's going to be in line with this point over here. Sorry about that. Okay, domain, again, all real numbers. Range, now, are the y values going down or are they going up? If they're going down, so this is going to be less than or equal to, what's this y value of the vertex? The y value of the vertex is -1. So that's how you find your range. Whatever the y value of the vertex is going to be greater than or less than, no matter, or like, depending on which direction the parabola is opening. Number 4, we're going to do the vertex first. So a is equal to -2, b is 4. B over 2 times a. -4 over -4, which equals 1, x equals 1. So we just found our axis of symmetry. We found the x value of our vertex. Now we're going to plug 1 in, and we're going to find the y value of our vertex. So y is equal to -2 times 1 squared plus 4 times 1 plus 1. Let's see if I can actually do math this time. So 1 times negative 2 is negative 2 plus 4 plus 1. So negative 2 plus 4 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, so 1, 1, 2, 3. Is this opening up or down? You tell me. It's opening down because it's negative. So we're going to be graphing points below. Hopefully you can already tell that the range is going to be below 3, but we'll graph it and just make sure to be on the safe side. Because, you know, it's me and I clearly don't know what I'm doing sometimes. So we got to plug in, we're going to the left and to the right. Again, these 2 points are going to be the same. These 2 points are going to be the same. So let's plug in 0 mentally. 0, 0, 1. It's going to be left with 1. That means this is going to be 1. Let's plug in negative 1. Y equals negative 2 times negative 1 squared plus 4 times negative 1 plus 1. This becomes 1 times negative 2, which is negative 2, minus 4 plus 1. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. So if we think we've got it, we're going to graph it and see if it makes sense. Here's our vertex. 0, 1. That means this should be 1, 2, 1. Yes, it is. 3, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means that negative 1 should be at negative 5. Yes. That makes sense. It works. Connect your curve. I know that that one didn't go through the point. Relax, okay? We're doing our best in quarantine. Domain, always, all round numbers. Hopefully you can see that due to your vertex, your range, since it's opening down, is going to be less than or equal to y equals 3. Number 5. Oh, this is so much fun. Like, I'm having so much fun doing this. I don't know if any of you sense my sarcasm. B equals negative 6, so our axis of symmetry is negative b, so negative negative 6 over 2 times 1. So 6 over 2 equals 3. Our axis of symmetry is x equals 3. Vertex is 3 comma 3 here. So let's plug in a 3. So 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 11. 9 minus 18 plus 11. 9 minus 18 is negative 9. Negative 9 plus 11 is 2. Okay, so we're going to go 2, 1. We're going to go 4, 5. Up the graph is to the left of the number. Down the graph is to the right of the number. All right, let's plug in 2. Y equals 2 squared minus 6 times 2 plus 11. 4 minus 12 plus 11. Oh, Mr. I, can you do simple math? I don't know. Let's see. 4 minus 12 is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 11 is 3. So plugged in a 2. This means that this is 3 and this is 3. Let's plug in a 1. 1 minus 6 plus 11. So that means negative 5 plus 11, y equals 6. That means this is 6 and this is 6. Let's graph the vertex. 3, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 2, 3. So 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Is this opening up? Yes, it is. So that's good. This becomes 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Check. We're good. This now 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then that means that this one is also going to be 6, 1, 6. Makes sense. It's a good parabola. Let's graph it. All real numbers. Our range is going to be greater than or equal to, since it's opening up, and that's greater than or equal to this y value, which is 2. Once again, our vertex is here. That helps us with our domain. Okay, in this case, we write this better. A is equal to -1, B is 0. So again, we know that x is equal to 0 over anything. We know the axis of symmetry equals 0. Vertex is 0, comma, -2, because our mental math skills tell us if we plug in 0 for x, that we're just left with -2 as our y. So 0, -2 is our vertex here. We're going to go 2 to the left and 2 to the right, but we only have to plug in 2 numbers. So let's do it. Y equals -1 squared minus 2. Well, -1 minus 2, y is equal to -3. If you said -3, you're correct, and I know some of you did, and some of you said -1. Where am I going? Here. Let's plug in 2. Y equals -2 squared minus 2. It equals -4 minus 2. Y equals -6. Let's graph. 0, -2. -1, -1, 2, 3. So that means that over here, 1, -3. -2, -3, 4, 5, 6. And that means 2, -6. Yep. I'm really glad that I'm making these videos because hopefully you can see how I do the math, and that hopefully can guide you through doing the math the same way. I'm not trying to brag, but mental math is a really big skill. And I hope that you guys are picking up on some of the things that I'm saying. And why I say these things is because I'm thinking about how the numbers work together. And if this is an axis of symmetry, then this is like a mirror image of this parabola. That means this point is equally distant from this point, and this point is equally distant from this point, which is why I'm not really counting, oh, -1, -2, down. I know that this is already -3, so I'm going to go down 3 more spaces. So I just want to help you try to use your logic skills to get you to think about these numbers in a different way. So this is your vertex. Once again, this is going down, so that means that this is going to be less than or equal to your y value of -2. Okay? Hey, monthly report, how are you? Go away. So A is equal to 2, B is equal to 8, again, because this has an x. So our x is -b over 2 times 2, which is -8 over 4, which is -2. Our axis of symmetry is x equals -2. Oh my god. And then our vertex x value is -2. Let's plug this in to find our y value. 2 times -2 squared plus 8 times -2. All right, so 4 times 2, which is 8. Sorry, not plus. It's going to be -16 because this is going to be -16. So y is equal to -8. Okay? This parabola is opening up. So we know our range is going to be greater than or equal to. Let's plug in or pick our x values. We're going to go 2 to the left, so -3, -4, -1, and 0. We know that these two are going to be the same and these two are going to be the same, and we know our domain is going to be all real numbers. So let's plug in -1. Y equals 2 times -1 squared plus 8 times -1. -1 squared is 1, times 2 is 2. So 2 minus 8, y is equal to -6. This is -6, so is this. Let's do mental math and plug in 0. 0, 0, we get 0, 0. All right, let's graph this. Remember, here's our vertex. -1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oh my god, 8, all the way at the bottom. negative 1. Well, if this is 8, then this is 7, 6. And then this is also 1 over. I didn't need to count all of those out again because, again, axis of symmetry is here. This is going to be a mirror image of this point. Negative 1, or sorry, negative 4, 0, and 0, 0. So here's this point, here's 1. I'm going to go 1 over and go to the x-axis. I hope your brains are working in the same way, and if they're not, I hope you're understanding what we're doing. Make sure you're looking at the table and graphing accordingly. Okay, so what is the range going to be for this one? We know our y value for the vertex is negative 8. So all numbers in this graph are going to be above negative 8. Oh my god, we have one more page. Yay. A is equal to negative 1, b is equal to 4, x equals negative b over 2 times negative 1. Okay, let's plug in our x value to find our vertex. Negative 2 squared plus 4 times 2 plus 3. Negative 4 plus 8 plus 3. So this becomes 4 plus 3, which is 7. We know our domain is all real. This is opening down, so it's going to be less than or equal to 7. Hopefully you understand that part. Let's pick 2 to the left. So this is going to be 1 and 0. This is going to be 3 and 4. These are going to be the same. These are going to be the same. So let's plug in 0 mentally so we can get that other number. 0, 0, we're left with 3. Good. And then we're going to plug in 1. Y equals negative 1 squared plus 4 times 1 plus 3. Negative 1 plus 4 plus 3. So this is going to be 3 plus 3, y equals 6. Let's graph. Vertex is here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is opening down. 1, 6. Well, if this is 7, then this is 6. And then I know the mirror image is going over here. 0, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. And I know 1, 2, 1, 2 over. That's your parabola. Rewind that. Not rewind. Oh my god, how old am I? I just showed my age by saying the word rewind. Go back and see that again, what I just said. Here's your vertex. Axis of symmetry means that this is a mirror image. This is equidistant from the axis of symmetry. That's how you know your point is right across from it. That's how you know this point is 4 spaces across from this point. Okay? We've got 3 more fun-filled problems. A is negative 1, B is negative 2, x is equal to negative 2 over 2 times negative 1. Okay, our axis of symmetry is negative 1. This one's opening down. We know our domain is going to be all real numbers. We know our range is going to be less than or equal to. Let's plug in negative 1. Y equals negative 1 squared minus 2 times negative 1. So this equals a negative 1 plus 2. Y equals 1. So negative 2, negative 3, 0, 1. These two are going to be the same. These two are going to be the same. Let's plug in 0 mentally. We get 0. Let's plug in 1. Negative 1 minus 2, y equals negative 3. Negative 1, 1. It's opening down, so we know we're going to go negative 2, 0, and that means this one's also going to be right here, 0, 0. And then we're going to go 1, negative 1, 2, 3. This one's also going to be over here. That's your parabola. Okay, I didn't fill out my vertex. My vertex is negative 1, 1. All real numbers. Range is less than or equal to 1 because it's going down, and our point is here. 2 more. A equals negative 3. B equals negative 18. All right, let's plug in negative 3 for our x. I think this is the most boring video I've done so far. It's graphing. I like graphing, but it's like pretty straightforward. Negative 18 times negative 3, and then minus 20. Okay, so we've got 9 times 3 is 27. What's 18 times 3? 54. So plus 54. This doesn't make sense. Oh, that's negative 3. And then minus 20. Negative 27 plus 54 is 27. 27 minus 20 is 7. Okay, so negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 2, negative 1. These two are the same. These two are the same. All real numbers. Y is opening down, so less than or equal to 7. Let's plug in these two down here. So y is equal to negative 3 times negative 2 squared minus 18 times negative 2 minus 20. Okay. Negative 12 plus 36 is 24. 24 minus 20 is 4. Let's plug in negative 1. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3 plus 18 minus 20. This becomes 15. 15 minus 20 is negative 5. This is opening down. Let's see if this works. So negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's our vertex. Is negative 3, so negative 4 is 1 to the left. 7, 6, 5, 4. And then we're going to go negative 1, negative 5. It's a long one. There's your parabola. The last one. Oh, fraction, of course. This is going to be a fun one. A is equal to 1/2. B is equal to negative 6. So x is equal to negative 6 over 2 times 1/2, which is 1. Let's plug in 6. So 6 squared. 6 squared is 36. Half of that is 18. So this is becoming 18 minus 36 plus 11. Negative 18 plus 11 gives us y equals negative 7. Negative 18 plus 11, which is like 11 minus 18, negative 7. Let's do 6 to the left. It's going to be 5, 4, 7, 8. We know that this is all real numbers. We know that this is opening up, so it's going to be greater than or equal to negative 7 or 8. So let's plug in 5. No, let's not plug in 5. Ugh, this is going to suck. Let's do 4 for first. Okay, so 8, because 4 squared is 16 times half is 8, minus 24 plus 11. What's 8 minus 24? What's 8 minus 24? 16, negative 16 plus 11, negative 5. All right, let's take a look. Give me a second. Okay, I'm going to do some fraction work here. So let's plug in 5. We get y equals 1/2 times 5 squared minus 6 times 25. And then we've got half of 25 is 12.5 minus 30 plus 11. Well, 12.5 minus 30 is negative 17.5 plus 11 is negative 6.5, and that's what it's going to be here. Let's graph our vertex. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative 7 is all the way. Then we're going to go 7. Negative 6.5 is in the half mark. And then 8, negative 5. So 1, 5. So this one's a pretty wide parabola. Now, if you notice, and what we're going to notice at the end or at the next lesson or two, is that A predicts how thin or how wide your parabola is going to be. Notice how this one was 3 and it was very, very skinny. This one was 1/2, so it was wider. If your A is less than 1, it's going to be wider. If your A is greater than 1, it's going to be much less. That's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you can go ahead and skip this where it says analyzing graphs. And I want you to practice homework number 2 and see if you can graph, see if you can graph these 8 questions by yourself. All right. I hope you have a great weekend. Look forward to talking to you guys soon. Bye.